They're scared to lose their jobs, so they won't go on camera, but they sent us these pictures. So teachers will report to their classrooms, but students will learn remotely. The decision fueled by the rising COVID cases in Tulsa County. The superintendent. If you ask former President Barack Obama, voting and protesting are one and the same when it comes to sparking real change. Everyone just feeling lucky to have known Lucky Miller. They waited hours for his homecoming. His body flown from Florida to Oklahoma City, then driven here to Stroud. At 6 o'clock Friday, it's a dead scene here at Rodeo Club. And by nightfall, the parking lot is packed outside. Inside, people are moving. Karen, so those weekly reports included pandemic guidance and stats on each state. You can find them on the Oklahoma State Department of Health's website. However, the last one listed is from December 6th. That's the biggest news of the day for Tulsa. About 1,000 city employees are furloughed. Now, following that decision, the mayor posted this on his Facebook page. Yeah, so the 11-page plan will be presented tonight at 7:30 in front of the Board of Education, and we'll see if it gets approved. But the first bolded line in the draft says that all students. Speaking of stricter, TPD has a heavy presence here near the BOK and around it. They've also blocked off all the access ways to get to the center. So you can't drive in, but here's a look at what the area looked like when we were there earlier. I'm standing in front of the second bank Jerry Brown is believed to have stolen from on May 12th. The Skiatook police chief tells me Brown actually has an account with this bank. And when they conducted a search warrant here Friday, they found out stolen.
Local coverage now. Sierra Pizarro of NBC station KJRH live on scene. Sierra, how's the city of Tulsa coming to grips with this?
This is an incredible moment for the Tulsa community, one that's acknowledged by Mayor G.T. Bynum today. Yeah, so starting with this morning's homicide, Muskogee police still have not confirmed if Kjrh Pridgeon is the father of the children killed. Again, 3 of them do have his last name, and Pridgeon's 24-year-old younger brother was also a victim, the lone adult victim in this homicide this morning. Karen, they've been here for going on 5 hours now. Broken Arrow police say they're going to drag this standoff out in hopes of ending it peacefully. They're currently ordering the suspect out of the home. They say he's not following their commands. They're making announcements, doing what they can to contact him and to bring him out. Jason McIntosh spoke with me off the record. He seemed desperate to get the Oklahoma Jazz Hall of Fame more time before going through eviction hearings. That process started back in November. However, money problems for the Jazz Hall go back at least 8 years. I'd say a couple hundred people attended the prayer vigil here in Muskogee, and more than 900 donors have surpassed the $35,000 mark in the online fundraiser to help pay for the children's funeral expenses. They were only 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9 years old at the time of their deaths. Yeah, so the numbers we keep up with daily will soon include the positive results of antigen testing. So if you get tested and you get a positive result from a rapid antigen test, that's now going to be included in their case count. The State Department of Health has some support in this. Others worry how this will influence how fast Tulsa students get back to the classroom. Mike, they've been fighting this fire for hours now. They're still here. I want to show you the first floor of this building was a baby clothing store, and that was obvious because the sign was up. But as they've been watering this building down, the sign and some of the building collapsed onto the street. This is Main Street here. This section is closed off between Wyandotte and Command. Yeah, so that safer at home order in effect at midnight tonight. It prohibits gatherings of 10 people or more. It also requires that non-essential businesses shut down. Those businesses have to be in the 19 counties with confirmed cases. So those 19 counties include Tulsa, Mays, and Pawnee counties. Now, there's been some confusion on what a non-essential business is. The governor responded to that question by saying it's businesses that include close contact with people or personal touch. So they are hair salons, theaters, gyms, bars, dine-in restaurants. Oh, I'm just going to say I'm so grateful to be in our storm truck right now, out of the elements for now. But for our viewers who are about to head out the door, I hope they can take a moment to take in this live look of the lovely downtown Tulsa. You're looking at some pretty chunky snowflakes hitting our windshield right now. And of course, you've got the snow on the ground. This is what you're going to be dealing with if you're heading out the door today. You're going to want to make sure your car is prepared to drive in this and in temperatures like we're experiencing. AAA Oklahoma reminds drivers that car batteries tend to weaken in the cold. Hey, I am very glad that it's been warming up, and I know our drivers are glad too. We've been talking about this morning. I mentioned earlier how near perfect the streets are, the main streets at least here in Tulsa. This is East 31st, and we can actually see the pavement. We can see the paint on the roads. And make sure that we're in the correct lane when we're driving. No snow, it's clear. This is what I've seen pretty much in and around Tulsa now. It's when you walk over into the neighborhood that you get to all the snow, some ice. It gets slippery. It's hard to get through here. We're in the Maple Ridge neighborhood of Tulsa. A lot of snow here on the driveways and even on the streets. So drivers, you're probably going to have a bit of a hard time getting in and out of your home. If your car can make it through this, you'll have smooth sailing out on the main roadways in Tulsa. Good morning. It's bumpy. I got to hold on to the side here. Tulsa's plows are out in full force. We've seen plenty of them, and you're about to see some too. The Tulsa Hills are getting a very nice cleanup this morning. We're about to be behind a plow that's putting in a lot of hard work right now. You'll see plenty of snow piles here in the Tulsa Hills as they do their job and clean up the parking lots and the streets here in the Tulsa Hills. It kind of makes you just want to jump in one of those piles. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But let me tell you, City of Tulsa crews as well. They're out on the main streets. We know that they've been on a 24-hour weather response for a week now. Technicians with AAA are also on all hands on deck. They urge drivers to avoid travel if possible. Hi, so I'm near 41st and Columbia, and right here on the street, it's much slicker because there's some ice, a little bit of snow, and the reason for that is we're at yet another water line break here. It's crunchy when you get on the shoulder of the roadway. You're not going to be driving here, so don't worry about this, but I just want to show you closer. This ice gets so thick. This is about 2 inches of hard ice right here on the shoulder. And as you walk further in, I'm seeing some running water over here. So the water is still surfacing from the ground over here near 41st and Columbia. You shouldn't have any issues with this while driving. Again, it's icier over here because of the water. There's some snow still as well, but like Brady was showing you, all other roadways in Tulsa are fine. It's just when you get around the water line breaks, and there are many of them in the city of Tulsa, so watch out. Hey, so their work started Monday and it wasn't scheduled to end until Friday, but they've made such huge discoveries, ones that they want to keep preserved. That's why behind me they're wrapping the day up by covering back up with soil the grave shaft that they discovered, the one that contains 11 coffins. They found another coffin Tuesday. One of the archaeologists mentioned one of the remains is that of a female and said the bones are very fragile. The team also found steps cut into the dirt that lead from ground level into the grave shaft. They've wrapped this phase of excavations. They say they won't begin another until 2021, and that's because there's a process moving forward with the discovery of the burials. Now they'll work with the medical examiner's office on the exhumation process to dig up the remains, and the team describes this as an incredible moment. The community thinks so too. So it was a swift one. Once first responders nailed down a plan, it took them less than 10 minutes to get the guys out of the water, which really crept up on them because all of this was dry before it started raining today. I am outside of the warm, comfortable car. This wind is killer. It's hitting me in the face. I can feel my lips going numb. But behind me is the South 90th East Avenue Bridge. It goes right over this Highway 44 West. And you can see It's a lot busier out here. People are starting to get out, maybe get to work as it gets later into the morning. One thing I want to tell you about bridges and overpasses, elevated roadways in general, they're more dangerous because they freeze first. And the reason for that is because they lose warmth two ways, from above and below, whereas non-elevated roadways lose warmth just one way, and that's from above. So that's why they're more dangerous. They freeze first. They're icier, so you want to be careful if you're going to be going over any bridges or overpasses. I also want to show you the grass here. Listen to this satisfying crunch. It's totally iced, this grass here, and when compared to the side roadway here, it's still pretty slick. You can slide a little bit, but still drivable as long as you're being careful. So lesson here, don't drive in the grass. Back to you guys in studio. Hey, Karen, I'm joined by Renita Saldana. She's here with her two children. Tell me, they're holding My Life Matters and I Can't Breathe. What does this rally mean to you?
It means because I have black children and I feel I want to know that they're safe when they go out. I shouldn't have to worry about my black son going out and being murdered on the street. You know, seeing what happened, it really made me angry to see somebody that, you know, had a need. You can clearly see that the man needed help and they didn't let him up. Why? It's just, all of this, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the racism that goes on, and I'm tired of having everybody turn a blind eye to it. Everybody needs to see that racism is alive, and now it's just being recorded. No, we need to do something about this, and we need to handle it now.
What do you hope gets done? What do you hope gets done here in Tulsa?
I hope they cancel that live PD, because they set people up with live PD. No, I've seen that firsthand. They set people up for that live PD. No, cancel that live PD for real.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It looks like the rally is resuming. People are climbing back down from the interstate, and they should be marching right back towards Reconciliation Park.